What's up, Fantasy A-Team Nation? I'm your host, Josh Jenkins, and today's video, we are going to unveil our Week 11 top wide receiver matchups. But before I start the show, I'd like to welcome my good friend and co-host, Zach Roberts, back to the show. Welcome back, Zach.
Hey, thanks for having me back, Josh. What's up, A-Team Fantasy Nation? How are we doing? We're trying to get these videos rocked out for you. Next week will be more like our schedule usually is. So let's knock these top wide receiver matchups out and get this bad boy on.
All right. The first name I'm going to throw out there to you guys is Deebo Samuel. Last week, he had 5 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown, 5 rushes for 36 yards and a touchdown. This week, he faces the Jacksonville Jaguars, ranked 24th versus the wide receiver.
Yeah, so Deebo Samuel had a great game last week. I mean, as he goes, so does San Francisco. And I look for him to have another great game like he did last week. I look for him to have another 125 all-purpose yards with the receiving and the rushing. It seemed to work well for them. They like to take him. He's such an athlete. He's a big body, very fast for his size. Get him in space and let him do his work. I think he gets 2 touchdowns, though, this week. I mean, that's just me. I have him I think he's a super stud. I have him in a couple of my leagues. So, man, starting this week, if you got him, I think he has potential to have another big game.
All right. Next wide receiver I'm going to throw out there to you guys is Marquise Brown. Last week, 6 receptions, 37 yards. He didn't find the end zone. This week, they faced the Chicago Bears, ranked 28th against the wide receiver.
Yeah, so the Bears give up a lot more yards to the wideouts. Marquise Brown's that big hit guy, so he'll definitely probably get a lot more thrown his way and get that big hit where he gets the touchdown. So if I had to put a number on it, I bet you he gets probably 100, 125 yards receiving, and he gets a touchdown, maybe even 2, depending on how the game plays out. But his potential has got a high ceiling this week, so play him if you got him.
All right, next, I'm going to throw out the hometown Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore. Last week, 4 receptions, 24 yards. He did not find the end zone. This week, he finds himself playing the Washington Redskins, ranked 31st against the wide receiver.
Right. And he's got Cam Newton back. So I think with these guys already have chemistry, right? So with that said, the 31st ranked defense, they don't have no film this year with the way they're going to line up. They only have old film. So you watch the wrinkles they're going to put in. I think DJ Moore, Cam Newton are going to have a big time chemistry connection this week. He's going to get a chance to get more reps with them in practice this week and get themselves up to speed, their timing down. You watch me and DJ Moore and him are going to have big games, I think. That's my prediction. So if you got him, I'd play him. He probably gets over, let's say 75, 100 yards and a touchdown.
All right, this next guy I'm going to throw out there to you has been Mr. Consistent on a subpar New York Jets team. Corey Davis. Last week, he had 5 receptions, 93 yards. He did not find the end zone. This week, they play the Miami Dolphins, ranked 30th versus the wide receiver.
Yeah, Corey Davis is a stud. I mean, that's why, when he was in down there with the Titans, he was the number 2, but he could easily be, he's trying to be the number 1 there. And I think he could be with a better quarterback play. You know what I mean? He's having to try to lift the quarterback. His ability to play at a higher level, to the level like he can play. So when that happens, you can see what happened. Like last week, he had almost 100-yard game. And you're right, he has been the main guy there. I think there was just a couple weeks that he had been banged up, and I actually had drafted the guy at the very end of the league, and he's been at the very end of the draft, and he's been pretty well for me. I just happened to drop him because I needed the spot whenever he was injured. But could never pick him back up. So the word is out on this guy. He's definitely been used a lot, and I think he's going to get the, another solid game. Like that's why we're putting him on this list. So probably, 85, 100 yards and a touchdown.
All right. Next, last but not least, we have Devonta Smith from the Philadelphia Eagles. Last week, he had 4 receptions for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 1 red zone target. This week, they faced the New Orleans Saints, ranked 29th against the wide receiver.
Yeah, so New Orleans is having problems too. Kamara, we just got things saying Kamara is going to be out. So their offense is going to struggle. So if New Orleans offense is going to struggle, that means that Philly's offense is going to get more opportunities, which just means Devonta Smith's going to get thrown the ball more. I think he's going to build off what he had last week. He's a rookie. He's finally getting used to the league. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a while for these guys to adjust. He's definitely adjusted. Him and Jalen Hurts, their rookie quarterback, have adjusted. They got kind of a pretty good chemistry now. It's kind of like, Burrow already had 1 year under his belt. So that's what helped Jamar Chase so well. That's why it was so early. He was getting hit. So, getting so many yards. So now I look for Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts to kind of start to do the same thing heading down the stretch here. And at the 29th ranked defense versus the wide receiver in New Orleans, and their offense struggling, I think Devonta Smith's going to have a huge game. I bet he goes for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So starting.
Well, guys, that's it for our wide receiver video for week 11. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button. If you have a comment, drop it down below. And remember, friends, don't let friends auto draft.